Something that I have noticed over the last couple years, especially in particular after COVID, is that movie theaters are simply put not as big of a deal. They're not as important as they used to be because while I personally still go see movies in the theaters, people that I know in my personal life, like my mom or friends, even dad sometimes as well, do still see movies in the theaters. When you look at our culture in general, when you look at the United States of America, look at the bigger picture, people don't rush out to the theaters the way they used to. Part of that is because there was about 9 months where not a lot of new movies were coming out. You, of course, had COVID mandates, COVID protocols, and so people were stuck in their homes, and movies were releasing directly onto streaming services, not coming out in theaters at all. Like Wonder Woman 1984 was released straight to HBO Max. And then you look at Pixar, Luca, Turning Red, Soul were released straight on Disney Plus. They didn't go in the they didn't go in the theaters. And even when a movie does get a theatrical release, nowadays a movie will be in theaters and then just 30 days later it's on a streaming service. So it's pretty clear to me that people just don't have the motivation or incentive to rush out to the theaters the way they used to. It's more like, why should I rush out to see this movie in the theaters? Why should I pay to see it now? It'll be on streaming within a month. I'll just wait until then and watch it at home. Plus, if you're at home, you can easily pause a movie to do whatever you want. Also, if you go to the theater, it's possible that there may be jerks there that'll ruin the experience for you. Plus, going to the theaters is more expensive than it used to be. Nowadays, if you're if you're married with kids and you all go to the theaters together, you may end up paying $100 to see a movie in the theaters. If you have a family of four, for example, you all get a ticket for the movie and you get concessions like popcorn and drinks, it can get pretty expensive. So people are like, well, I really don't want to pay a ton of money to see a movie in the theaters when I can just wait a month and then I can watch the movie on streaming. Plus, nowadays, you can get a really good TV and therefore have an experience at home that is about as good as the theatrical experience. And so I think that's also decreased people's motivation to actually go out to the theaters. Because it's like, well, why should I go out to the theaters? I can get an experience about as good at home. Yeah, there are a few movies that come out nowadays where you feel like this is actually worth seeing on the big screen, this is worth paying for. Like the Avatar 2, The Way of Water, Dune Part 1, and Top Gun Maverick are the examples that I immediately think of when I think about when I think about the question of which movies are worth seeing on the big screen, which movies are worth paying for. Those ones were, but in most cases that isn't actually the case. So in general, I think that theaters aren't as relevant or as important as they used to be, because people aren't rushing out to the theaters as much as they used to.